Always great speaking with you. Last time we saw each other, of course, was at the Toronto International Film Festival, the barbecue. And
Absolutely. No, the homecoming, Rudy.
I call it the barbecue. People can call it whatever they want. To me, from day one, it's always been BBQ. It's the barbecue. They can say homecoming, whatever else. Mind you, they didn't have hamburgers this time, so which I was
Yeah,
a
they
little
did not have the
disappointed.
hamburgers. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything else was great. It was great to see you. And it's great to see you now, too, because we're talking about something that I think is very important to the film industry. And of course, it is something that you created. What is finally coming back for another year?
It's fantastic. This is our 22nd year of Real World Film Festival. And it's just, it was really nice to have that opening reception. It was our first really big reception after COVID. Let's hope, 2 weeks from now, I'm not telling you that everyone got COVID, but it was really well attended and it just had a really emotional feel for most people there, not having seen each other, especially people of color, not having those gatherings where we could be together and support each other, and it was lovely.
Now, for folks who may not know exactly what it is, can you explain the premises? Because you created this for a specific reason.
Absolutely. So 22 years ago, I wanted to create a platform, something that helped Canadian, Black, Indigenous, and people of color within our Canadian screen industries. And Real World was the beginning of that. We started with the festival, but over the last 22 years, we've expanded into producer programs and screenwriting programs. Our E20 program is a screenwriting program. We've got our Black Entrepreneur program, which kicked off this year, training casting directors, agents, managers, film producers. We have our Hollywood Connector, which is going into our third year. And everybody can get this information on realworld.ca. We've got Access Real World, our database, over 7,000 people are on there. People looking for jobs, people want to hire people. That's one of the databases to go to. So we are thrilled because we have an alumni now in the thousands. And because we just had an alumni gathering and I couldn't believe it. We're going to need a bigger venue. And so but that was really the crux of it, making sure there's more accessibility, more opportunity, changing, changing the status quo,
Yeah.
making sure that the people in green lighting positions are people of color who understand the communities.
So, what can we expect at this film festival? Let's not talk about the films just yet, but what are we expecting? What are some of the other things going on? Conferences, things like that.
Absolutely. Right now, as our industry panels are happening, so we're right in the middle of it, and of course the features, and then we've got our awards presentation, which we actually pre-shoot first on the Monday, and then we put it up on YouTube for people to see on the Tuesday. So look out for that on our YouTube channel at Real World. Um, but yeah, between screenings and industry panels, that is the crux of it. In fact, there's a report. Our final in-person industry panel today is a report that Racial Equity Media Collective did, and so we'll be releasing the results of that in a panel and a presentation. And I think the Black Screen Office is doing an online presentation on Monday about a report they did around being seen. So I think what's great is a lot of organizations like Real World, we're doing now research and advocacy. We're creating the data that was so necessary to make the changes that we know need to be changed. And I think all of that also happens at Real World where we get to present it.
All right, let's get to the films. How many films are we looking at? And what was the opener? And what's the closer too?
So we have 34 films this year, which is just fantastic. I mean, we were talking about all Canadian films, all Canadian, Black, Indigenous, people of color. So just kudos to all those creators. And we opened with Golden Delicious, which was an absolute fantastic film to kick off with. People went away sort of happy. It was a feel good, but a tear jerker. It was a good movie. And we don't do a real closing night. We just have a film at the end, but all the films, people need to go on the website and read them. There's going to be something there that is going to be subject matter or an experience that you've gone through that you can feel really comfortable sitting there and watching it. These are universal stories. I mean, no matter what race you are or culture you are, there's some basic, just human things that we all go through. And I think that's what these stories reflect.
Now, so I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes you've celebrated certain actors in the past. Are we celebrating anybody this year?
It's not actors, but with the award of excellence is going to Jennifer Podemsky, who yes is
That's something.
an actor, but has also produced amazing content. And then Nick Davis, some of you might not know, but a long time Nick Davis is getting our Visionary Award. This I think he's been at CBC what probably more than 20 years, I'm sure. So we're really excited to you know, bring the spotlight to these people who've been working in the trenches and creating work for other people. And then, of course, we have our six trailblazers, but all of these people you'll see at our award show too, because they'll get presented their awards and they'll give their speeches, and you'll get to watch that on the YouTube. But we have six amazing trailblazers this year that we'll be honoring. And then this year, the outstanding movie is going to get $25,000 from Real World, and the outstanding short will be getting $10,000 from Real World. So that's exciting. The filmmakers are definitely going to be tuning into the award show to find out who that is. And you know, we have a bunch of applications that are going to be launching over the next few weeks. Because people are always saying, when are the programs? When can I get in that E20 program? When can I get in that producer programs? So here's the heads up. It's happening over the next few weeks. So don't ask me next summer, when is the applications? Because they were November. So make sure you stay on the website and, you know, sign up for the newsletters, because that's where you get the information about what is happening out there.
Okay, so it's running, of course, from what to what, and how do we get our tickets information and everything else?
So it's running October 12th to the 18th. And tickets are on realworld.ca, and just look for the festival tab and click it. Pick out the movie that you're looking for. It'll take you to exactly where you purchase a pass. We just do passes because it's just easier at the end of the day. Whether you watch one movie or 34 movies, it's one price, which we think is a great deal. And then it'll just talk you through how you purchase the tickets. And we're really looking forward. We had the opening night at the Royal, which was fantastic. Um, and we'd done the shorts at the Paradise. That was all day yesterday. And Saturday and Sunday we'll be at the Royal Ontario Museum, the ROM. They've got a great cinema in there. I think people forget that there's you know, that ROM's got
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's everything's in
yeah.
there. So we found this beautiful space and we're like, let's take advantage of it. It's fantastic. And online and in-person events. So either one, you can watch the films online. You can also watch them in person. I vote for in person.
I agree. Look, before we go, one very last question. I got to ask this very quickly because we are talking about the Halloween season. I'm going to ask you, what was your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
Oh my God, favorite Halloween costume. I think I was always usually dressed kind of like a hippie. It's like I think it's a thing that I always like. It's if I think that whole generation, and the fact that I was born, you know, in 58, so the 60s really impressed on me. But I think bell bottoms and hippie style is my kind of style.
Wait, you didn't do the plastic mask like I had to do growing up?
Oh my God, that's such a guy thing. Women didn't tend to put on whole masks over their faces. I'm not quite sure why guys like that so much. It's
Especially
kind of
because
creepy.
we
It's
couldn't
creepy
breathe
to
through
me.
them. You sweat, and the string would always break at some point. So your parents had to staple it back on so you could continue. So, oh
No, and
my
wait,
goodness.
remember I grew up in England, so Halloween wasn't really a thing there. So it wasn't until I got to Canada, almost in high school. I was already too old for Halloween, but I was like, I'm gonna get my candy
Oh my
somehow.
goodness. See, born in England but raised here, so at least I got that. I want to say congratulations once again on another. This looks like it's going to be fantastic. Cannot
Thank
wait
you.
for next year, and always the best to you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for the support, Rudy. Thank you.